Tonight, another day, another 2 cases. COVID-19 cases number 38 and 39 are confirmed Wednesday. The CMO says expect more cases this week. The SLHDA decries the threat to livelihoods and the economy as rumors spread like wildfire about tourists being the source of the upsurge in COVID cases. And the NIC calls out employers, saying over 200 of them are stalling the process of making payments to workers who desperately need financial relief. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Wednesday, the 21st of October, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. From the weekend, the island has been confirming new cases of COVID-19, and on Wednesday, cases number 38 and 39 were confirmed. A male from Dennery and a female from Grosley are the latest people to test positive for coronavirus. The Chief Medical Officer says new cases should be expected throughout the week as contact tracing continues amid community spread of the virus. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
The number of in-country COVID-19 cases in St. Lucia continues to rise. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George informed the nation of 2 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. This means that the total number of cases confirmed and recorded by health officials is now 39. Dr. Belmar gave details of case 39.
The individual is a 38-year-old male from the Dennery region. He was tested during a community testing exercise conducted this week. He has no history of travel or known contact with anyone diagnosed with the virus. Upon receiving the diagnosis earlier this afternoon, arrangements were made for his transfer to the respiratory hospital for care.
She also provided the details of case 38, which had been announced a few hours earlier on Wednesday.
The individual is a 53-year-old female from Grosley. She was identified during the contact tracing process and is linked to cases 33, 34, and 37. As such, she was tested and placed in quarantine. She has now been isolated for care at the respiratory hospital. The new cases for this week have all been identified through the contact tracing process, and that tracing process continues this week. All efforts are being made by the public health team to rapidly respond to contain further spread of cases. We anticipate new cases as we continue the process to identify, test, and isolate further contacts.
According to the CMO, to date, there is a total of 12 active cases of COVID-19 in isolation at the respiratory hospital. This is the largest number of cases in care at once since the start of the national epidemic, but it should be noted that all patients are doing well and are not in need of critical care. The CMO says a mutual partnership with the public and health officials is needed to ensure adequate response to the national effort to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Dr. Belmar-George made a call for people to remain vigilant.
As we proceed with the necessary public health interventions, a serious appeal is made to the public to cooperate with our health officers and to practice daily the behaviors which can protect your health and safety. We remind every individual that 80% of persons who have the virus experience mild symptoms. As such, it is important that we all remain vigilant and respond promptly to any symptoms of concern to avoid further spread of the virus.
The ministry anticipates that additional cases will be identified as the contact tracing process continues. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
The Chief Executive Officer of the St. Lucia Hospitality and Tourism Association, SLHDA, believes that recent attempts by anonymous social media profiles to link community spread of COVID-19 to ill tourists on island is an injustice to the continued efforts of hoteliers to facilitate a safe reopening of the tourism sector. Aziz says such baseless allegations have a very real impact on the livelihoods of people and the economy of the country. Jacques Wooding reports.
As local authorities continue to grapple with the developing COVID-19 situation, speculation is rife as to the source of the continued community spread that we are currently seeing. Local authorities have suggested that this has been a result of illegal entry to the country, while some members of the public are not so convinced, speculating further that this has come as a direct result of the reopening of the tourism sector. We spoke to the head of the St. Lucia Hospitality and Tourism Association on these growing rumors. And according to him, Mr. Norani Aziz, he has chosen to tune out the noise, instead focusing on what hoteliers can do to continue to successfully mitigate the reopening of the tourism sector.
We do ourselves an injustice by circulating statements and posting statements and writing statements which have no basis of proof. And at the end of the day, it undermines all these efforts that we have put forward as a country and as a people. And it will not do us any great service in the long term. I prefer not to speak to statements which can't be substantiated right now, and information circulating on social media which can't be proven in terms of its source.
Aziz says though he is knowledgeable of growing conspiracies as to the reality of the COVID-19 situation in St. Lucia, he does not believe that members of the public should operate carelessly under the guise that there is no COVID in St. Lucia. He says that this could only be to the detriment of the economy.
We have been moving within a very uncertain environment, and every day, while we get information to clear up some previous uncertainties, other questions rise. But it's very difficult when we go and self-impose unnecessary challenges on ourselves.
Aziz is urging members of the public to do their research and to act only on verified information provided by local health authorities, instead of that provided by social media conspiracies. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Willing.
Stay with us. Still to come, the NYC calls out employers, saying over 200 of them are stalling the process of making payments to workers who need financial relief. Police respond to a family's desperate appeal for answers relating to the killing of teenager Arnold Joseph in 2019. And MP Guy Joseph tells members of the public to not only look to authorities to get the dengue outbreak under control. That and more after the break.